How's it going, everybody? Filming I think it's going up tomorrow, the Tuesday, whatever, 27th. But I'm filming it on Monday night, and I'm doing a drink review here today, and a regular whispering ramble, no gum. I don't know how long I'm going to try to go on this one, so I will call it a long ramble if I get there. But the drink is C4, strawberry watermelon ice. I had gotten this in the IGA this morning before hitting the bus to go to work, and I'm pretty sure I've never had this one before. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. They actually have a surprising amount of energy drinks in that place. I mean, a lot I've already had, but a lot of the ghost ones are there. I'm gonna actually do a re-review of their orange cream one, because that was really good. I remember. I do want to try that again. But anyway, yeah, this is strawberry watermelon ice. I'm kind of have high hopes for this one. It's not bad. It has a stronger strawberry taste, which I don't mind. Got a little watermelon there. I like strawberry tasting drinks because it's almost like a strawberry cream. Haven't played any games the last. Today's Tuesday. Oh my god. I screwed that up. Today's Tuesday. I'll be putting this up probably Wednesday. I don't know for sure. Yeah, so today's, oh my god. So the 27th is tomorrow. I'm off a day. But I haven't played Final Fantasy since Saturday. I'm pretty sure it was Saturday. Because I definitely didn't yesterday, Monday, and or Sunday. So we'll see if I get back into that. I've been enjoying it. I just haven't played it, which is fine. I have no problem with that game. Extending out longer. I did it with the first part of the remake. I played up until like chapter 14. I think there's 17 chapters in that one. And I just stopped playing it for whatever reason. And it's not even because I didn't like it. And then I went back to it literally like almost a year later. I mean, well, it's probably January when I was really playing it. So like 10 months later, I completed it. Actually, when I ordered the PS5, I was like, I knew the new one was coming out in February. I'm like, I gotta just finish this one up before I get the PS5 here, and I did. I've been kind of itching to throw back in Ghostwire Tokyo and just kind of screw around for a little bit, because I really like that game world, and I really like that game. Like I said, it's still my favorite game of this generation. You know, I only have the PS5, but on the PS5 of the games I played, I mean, Final Fantasy might overtake it, but you never know. I really, and I did the review on it, I really like Ghostwire Tokyo. This is a good one, though. I'm going to go with 8.5 on this. I like it. It's a strong strawberry cream type taste. I'm not getting much watermelon, a little bit, but whatever. Just has a nice taste to it. It's a little better than some of the other ones. I like Oddly enough, I like most energy drinks that I've had. Like I've said, I don't drink them literally. Outside of trying a Red Bull years ago, I do not drink energy drinks outside of making vids. I might have been doing one where the video got screwed up and it was wasted, but it was still the intent was to drink it for a video. That was weird. Try that again. Alright. That's kind of weird. That was weird. I can't even explain what happened right there. But yeah. And which is kind of good because I know you're not. They say that you don't want to be freaking drinking these things constantly. And I don't. Up until when I started doing these drink reviews, I never drank them. So when I was doing the drink reviews, I don't know if it was mentioned. I think it might have been mentioned once. I always tried an energy drink or something where I saw one and I was like, well, there's a shit ton of energy drinks, so this is a lot of reviews here I can do. I should have, excuse me, from the beginning, kept track of all of them, like written down all of them. I can go back and see a lot just through the picture, the screenshots I have on the video. Because I have a bunch of Alani and you, or New, whatever it is, in the IGA as well, but I'm like, I know, like, I feel like Cosmic Stardust, I know I did, and two other ones that were there, I knew I did. I couldn't remember some of the other ones, though, if I had done the reviews of them or not. I've been looking at some graded cards on eBay since I got the Flip Sports card sent me those cards, some cards, and then the graded ones, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna start buying these things now this time, because they look so nice in the graded, slab or whatever. Same thing with the coins, they just look nice inside of a thing. So I'm watching some, like I'm looking at anything really like grade 8 and 9, just because 10s are usually more expensive, but a lot of the cards I'm looking at are not pricey at all. Like I wouldn't go nuts. That's just not how I am. Like I'm watching, and I got an offer, there was an offer on it. It's like a game of Olajuwon. It was an 8, near mint 8 of Skybox. I think it was 91, 92 Skybox. I love those cards. I love the look of them back when they came out. So I might do that one, because I think it would end up being under 850. I don't need him to be 10s, but I don't really want him to be under 8s either. So 8 and 9. I've been looking at other Clyde Drexlers as well. Sean Kemp cards I've been looking at also. But as with me, in all things, I'll be like, no, I'm not doing it. Like I have all these things on my watch list, and then I'm like, nah, fuck it. I don't want to spend like even $7. Like that's how I get. I do it with games too. Like I have Legacy of Kane Defiance on my watch list, and I'm like, I should just buy this, and then I'm like, fuck, I'm very weird with my money in that sense, And part of me knows, like, especially in the case of video games, I'm not. There's a good chance I don't play the game for fucking God knows how long, 5 calories. Was this the one that was packing? No, this was packing 200 too. Like I said, what if I've had C4, the Alani New Monster Energy, Bang Energy, Ghost Energy, Rain. I haven't had a Rain in a while, I don't think. A couple other brands that I've gotten probably some other ones I'm forgetting. Oh, the G Fuel. I mean, there's so fucking many. It's like, it's ridiculous, actually. Like, it's kind of like what? And I had a Red Bull also, right? The cinnamon or some shit. I think overall my favorite brand is probably Ghost. Did I say Ghost? That's one of the brands, but they're probably my favorite. I just like their flavors the best. I like the Rain ones, but I can't find a ton of them. I think I've done all the ones that I, had access to. I'm curious with North Carolina in terms of what the tip is going to be on different beverages and stuff. I know there's obviously supermarkets down there. There's Walmart, a couple Food Lions, a bunch of Dollar Generals. That's like the go-to, I feel, in the South, because I know South Carolina had a ton when we were down there. When her dad used to live down there, my fiance's dad used to live down there. Dollar General was the one. Florida Dollar General is all over the place. And North Carolina apparently as well. And up here, it's Dollar Tree is the one that you see the most. There's all different ones, right? These chain ones, but I'm kind of like, okay, what can I, do in that, in terms of like saying, okay, what can I get on that front? But it's always nice to kind of do a regular whispering ramble, even though it probably won't view well. It's just nice to do it without the gum sometimes. Let me do a little tapping here. Theat rhythm, Final Fantasy Curtain Call. I talked about this. I haven't opened it yet. I had the regular version. It was just not Curtain Call. When I had the 2DS, and it was super fun. I put like 35 hours into it. It's a really cool rhythm game. This one just adds more, I guess, songs and characters. So it was a cool game. It's actually a really good sound. This rhythm game I really liked, and I really liked Persona 4. It was Persona 4, right? Dancing All Night. I know they made expansions or whatever for the, like 3 and 5. I have that one on the Vita. They also did that, was that Persona 4 as well? I think it actually had characters from 3 in it also. It was the fighting game one. I forget, it was like Ultimax or something weird. That was actually pretty good too. It had like a nice storyline behind it. Same thing with the rhythm game. It has like they're throwing in the story behind it as well, with like the shadow world or whatever. The shadows are being controlled, and you got to do this to free them and stuff. Started watching. Did I say? I don't think I've said this in a video. Maybe I have. That show Yellow Jackets. After years of, not years, I don't know, but a couple of years of being like, I should watch it. It's pretty good so far. We're 4 episodes in. It bounces back from the past. 96 and 2021. It's about a plane crash and the soccer team. Some other people on there too, but they're all part of the team or children of the coach or whatever. And the plane crashes and they gotta figure things out. And obviously you can tell things went crazy because they have a couple of parts where they're all like Lord of the Flies type shit and stuff. So, and then things are happening in the present. trying to figure out what's up or whatever. It's pretty good so far. And I was like, I'm like, Christina Ricci's like a year or two younger than me, and she's just a year younger than I am. And I'm like, she looks like she's in her fucking 20s still. Like, I'm just like, she does not age. Ernie Hudson also doesn't age. The dude's 80. Like, he's fucking 80. And I'm like, dude, this guy could pass for his, like, late 60s, mid 60s. He's a great actor. He's one of my favorites, actually. He's like a Sean Bean to me. Those kind of actors where they're such good, solid actors. And they don't all the time. Sometimes they'll get the spotlight, but a lot of times they're like that perfect, just, they should get the spotlight more, but they're so, like, key to a movie, They must hold the movie together in a lot of cases. But he's classic, Ernie Hudson. And Sean Bean's another one of those guys. This man has a lot of actors like that. Brian Cox is kind of like that too. Where, sometimes like in Succession and the show and stuff, there are parts where he'll get a lot of, he's the headliner. In like that movie Red. It's actually a good movie. It's not the one with Bruce Willis. He's in those two, I believe, though. Both those movies. It's another one where this kid kills his dog, and he just, like, fucking loses it. Not in the way of a John Wick, and I don't know for sure, actually, if the Red movie came out before the first John Wick, but it's not. It's more, like, grounded in reality and not fucking a dude fucking, doing fucking all types of shit, killing fucking hundreds of people or whatever. Tom Sizemore is also in it. He's good in it. Tom Sizemore's another one of those guys. I think he's passed away, right? He's another one that's like kind of a glue guy. He never really had the spotlight, but he's been in a ton of shit. Dudes like that, like Ernie Hudson, Sean Bean, Brian Cox. Well, not Tom Sizemore anymore, unfortunately, but they're not like, they don't get a ton of starring roles, but they're always gonna get fucking work. Those are my kind of favorite actors too. They don't chew the scenery. That's what was so great about Philip Seymour Hoffman. He was like the shit at this. Like, you put him in like any role and he's great. He doesn't steal any scenes. He blends in. He's such a good actor. He can play so many different parts. Yeah, I mean, he was such a good actor. He's also dead. He was such a good actor, and he didn't have to ham it up and chew the fucking scenery like some actors do. Like De Niro. Pacino, like, acted normal for years, and then all of a sudden he just went into screaming in every movie he was in. Like, he could be in a movie and someone's like, to his character, how was your day? And he'll be like, I'll tell you how my day was. Like, he like starts flipping out, for this random shit. These overact. And there's like people like, Robin Williams would do that too, and I liked Robin Williams. There's a lot of guys that would just go over, and women as well, just over the top. Like Julianne Moore is one that does that. John Cusack will do it. And it's like you're just watching them. You can't even watch their character. It's just them. That's why it's John Cusack, Philip Seymour Hoffman and Gary Oldman's another one where you're just like, you don't even know it's them half the time. They just become the character. I mean, yeah, what's his name? Daniel Day-Lewis is too. Like, he becomes the character, although he goes to these extremes with the fucking method acting and shit. And Jim Carrey, oh my god, I gotta be in character 24/7. I guess they can't turn it on and off. Like, I think that's even more of a fucking great ability to where some of these actors need to be so in their character's mind constantly, or they just lose it. Like, some people, though, they could just be like, okay, you're this person, boom, they turn it on, they transform transform to somebody else, and then they're right back to themselves 5 minutes later. That to me is 10 times more impressive than just ridiculous method acting where talk to me in character. Get the fuck out of here. But those people are also fucking amazing actors too. But I just think I'm more impressed by somebody who can just turn it on and then, oh yeah, I'm done now. I can just go back to myself, you know. But yeah, just watching Yellow Jackets. I don't think we watched any movies. Nothing's better than Amityville Death Toilet, obviously. Oh god, did we watch anything recently? I feel like we did. But what was it? Oh, did I mention it already? Oh, what was it? Oh yeah, I did mention it. It was the I Think We're Alone Now movie. And that other ramble. I've been doing a lot of rambles this month. Which, whatever, you know. I love rambling. It's one of my favorite just videos. It's just me chatting it up, you know. Like we're all in the room together, even though we're not. Yeah, that's I'm trying to think of other actors or actresses like that. Let's see. I don't know. Like Kate Blanchett's really good at that too. She'll transform into all these characters. I don't know if she's a crazy method actor or anything, but she can play all types of fucking shit. This is a good one though. 8.5 on the C4. Strawberry watermelon ice. Explosive energy you can feel. Trying to think. Games, movies. I saw something about GTA. There's rumblings that GTA 6 might get pushed. And people are like, oh my god, it's like, really? Like, you're not. Like, of course. I can't. Even, like, this game, that game will not come out when they say it's going to, even in the zone. It's not going to. They're either going to try to push it back to somehow get it to release with newer consoles if all of a sudden they pop up in 2026. Similar to what Nintendo did with Twilight Princess. They held off until the Wii came out so they could release it on both. Or what happened with Breath of the Wild with the Wii U and the Switch. They pushed it off like an extra year or two. Games are always, they're like always getting delayed. And I honestly, I'm sure once GTA 6 comes out, I'll enjoy the shit out of it. And I'll probably buy it immediately. But I don't care. Like, I'm part of, like, I'm just like, what? Like, I'm not like, I need it. Like, there's plenty of shit to play. I don't care enough. Elder Scrolls is what I'm waiting for. And I was reading something that it's far along and it's far enough into development that, like, you can play part of it. I guess the people, you know, Bethesda or whatever, I forget what it said, but that's the one. But that won't be out till 2026 either. remember the 360 was '05. It had a freaking 8-year life cycle, which is impressive. And I'm not going to count Nintendo because the Wii had a 6, and then the Wii U had not even a 5. Oddly enough, the original Xbox only had a 4-year run, and that with Xbox One into Series X, they're still getting, and PS4 to PS5, you're still getting games for the older console, right? Even the 360 got some stuff as well, like, I think Rise of the Tomb Raider, Far Cry 4, a couple other games came out on the 360 that also came out on the Xbox One. With the original Xbox, like, it was almost done. There was a couple games that came out on both early, and then it was kind of like, which is a shame because the Xbox was fantastic. I would have loved to have seen the original Xbox get another full year, but Microsoft wanted to have to jump on Sony specifically. I don't think either of those companies knew what the Wii was going to do. Freaking like 100+ million units. But after the GameCube, Nintendo does its own thing. But like, the PS3 had a 7-year life cycle, and then both the Xbox One and PS4 both had 7-year life. If you go shorter than 7, it's like, come on, man. I don't care. They could put out this PS5 Pro that looks better, even though you need a TV that's capable of really getting the graphical thing out of this thing. It's the most powerful console ever, yeah, and you need a $4,000 TV on top of it. Like, I don't give a shit anymore with that. I want to enjoy this system as long as I can. Like, and that was kind of the plus when the newer systems came out. It's like I was still enjoying the shit out of the Xbox One. Then I picked up the PS4 just last year. I enjoyed the shit out of that. I probably could have held off a little longer, but my game habits are changing in a way. Like, part of me wants to almost commit to the retro stuff and like pick up games for the PS5 here and there. That'd be very hard for me to do. I would love to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna focus on Xbox and PS2 stuff and just throw in an Xbox game that I've never played or really enjoyed and want to play again and just go with it. But it's hard to do that sometimes because you want what's fresh and new as well. That's why I think when it comes to the retro stuff, I mean, the Xbox, PS2, I don't look at them as retro, even though it's been over 20 years, which is crazy to think about. But when you play like the NES, Genesis, Super Nintendo, N64, well, I'd even say N64 and PlayStation are not completely there. But the older stuff, the 2D stuff, I think holds up better in a lot of ways than the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation, the original PlayStation. Even the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox, I think some games do not hold up. And a lot of Nintendo 64 stuff doesn't really hold up well. Same thing with the original PlayStation. I mean, but the thing is, there's plenty of PlayStation stuff that does because it's such a massive library. Nintendo 64, it's such a small library that... But the crazy thing is, GoldenEye still holds up extremely well because me and my friends played it the other night, the multiplayer, and it still holds up well. It still looks nice and it plays really well. Still to this day. But like, even stuff like Mario 64, I feel like some games, they don't hold up as well. But you go back and I throw in like a UN Squadron or an ActRaiser, and I'm like, yes, I just didn't, to my opinion, it's because it's 2D and it looks nice, still the sprites and shit. It's easier for that to hold up. There was the PlayStation and the Nintendo 64 was such a weird era. It was like they were starting to do the 3D stuff, and it was like, they were like trying to figure it out. So some of it like looked weird. Even back then, some of it looked kind of weird. You look at it differently, with your hindsight. I go, wow, but when I first saw Super Mario 64, I was like, holy shit. Ocarina of Time did that for me. Freaking, a lot of those games back then did, like Star Fox, F-Zero. In trying to think of like those jaw-dropping moments from each console era. The NES to the Super NES, and I'll just compare those two. Genesis. I had a Master System briefly, but I'll talk about like the jump from the NES to the Super NES. You were just like, oh my god, like Super Mario 3 to Super Mario World. You're just like, what? Super Mario World, you see that, you're like, holy shit. When you first see Link to the Past, Final Fantasy 2 or 3, ActRaiser, stuff like UN Squadron, Final Fight, stuff like that. Super Castlevania 4, you're like, what? Super Punch Out, just those are all jaw-dropping moments. And like I said, Super Mario 64, GoldenEye, Ocarina of Time, even like Wave Race and stuff too. And then like when you get to the newer era, the PS2 and stuff, when when I first saw Silent Hill 2, I saw it, my friend's younger brother was playing it, and I was like, holy shit, this looks creepy as hell, this looks nice, and I remember his brother was like, I can't fucking play this, I can't handle it. But that was, there was definitely, like, Ninja Gaiden was a joy. I was like, holy, wow, this looks amazing. Final Fantasy X did that as well on the PS2. The Resident Evil remake on GameCube, I was just like, what? This is real, and Wind Waker's art style was I was just like, wow, this looks phenomenal. I love the art style for Wind Waker. When it came out, a lot of people were shitting on it, but I think and a lot of people loved it then too, but over time, more people were like, this is just a cool look. And it still holds up because the one thing Nintendo does, like, their systems don't even need to be overly powerful. They never need to compete with Sony and Microsoft because the art style of their first-party games holds up. The Marios, the Zeldas, they just have a nice look to them. Pikmin, stuff like that. Metroid, it just has a look to where it... you'll get some of that stuff with like a Shadow of the Colossus on PS2. Still looks really nice. Certain games, art style holds up, and then others do not. I think a lot of games are a product of their time, and it's almost like in like a vacuum or a small section of time, they look great, and then they look like shit like a couple of years later. What else did it? Gears of War and Oblivion on the 360. Oblivion came out before Gears of War, and I remember seeing Oblivion. You come out of the sewers and shit, and you see the big open world, and you're like, what? And that was huge, but when I first played Gears of War, that's when I was really like, okay, this is next gen. At the time, I was like, or new gen. At the time, I was like, yeah, this is it. Like, Gears of War looked amazing. Uncharted on the PlayStation 3, Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. And when I first saw that, I was like, what? It was just looked so amazing. There was some other stuff on the PS4 as well. Skyrim as well did that. You were just like, because it looks so much better than Oblivion, and they had only come out 5 years apart, and it's like 5.5. It was closer to 6 because I think Oblivion came out like March of 2006, and Skyrim came out November of 2011. But Morrowind I don't know if it came out a little earlier on PC, but on the original Xbox, that was 2002, so it was only a 4-year, it might have been even less than a 4-year gap between those two, and now it's like 500 years before freaking, 5 and 6. Get the fuck out of here. That's terrible. That pisses me off. How there hasn't been a standalone first, single player Elder Scrolls since 2011. And part of me's like, I gotta throw in. Part of me's like, maybe I should just buy Skyrim again on the PS5. Like, this has been released on 900 systems. Like, what? It's annoying. It really is. But yeah, those games. And then when it came to the Xbox One, a lot of stuff did it. And even on the PS4, like years after it come out, Ratchet and Clank and Uncharted 4 looked great. Resident Evil 4, the remake, looked great. And even now, with like I see Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the PS5, and there's just parts where like I'm still stopping late game. I'm just like, wow, this looks incredible, And Plague Tale Innocence, Requiem, Innocence looked really nice as well. But Requiem, I was just like, whoa, that game looks amazing too. That might be the best looking game for me of this generation too. What else do I have? I mean, like Jedi Survivor looks incredible. Ratchet and Clank, those two, Rift Apart. The Ghost Part Togo looked really nice, but not kind of on the level of some of those other ones. The Dead Space remake looked solid. Forspoken is one where it looks decent, but I almost was like, this should look better than it does. That's one of those games where I put like 4 or 5 hours into it, and I didn't hate it, but it wasn't pulling me in. I might attempt to play it again at some point, but it just wasn't pulling me in. And what are you gonna do, right? Certain games don't do it, What else do I have over there? Dredge I haven't opened up yet, but that's not a graphical powerhouse. That's a specific kind of game, But it does look nice. It has a nice graphical look to it. Even Siberia, the world before, it looks really nice. Especially when you compare it, because I played 3 afterwards, and it's night and day. Like, I was like, holy shit, there's a massive jump between Siberia 3 and the world before graphically. Red Dead Redemption 2 is another one that looks, just when I played that, I was like, wow, that game world is something else, man. I might pick up Resident Evil Village again, the gold edition for the PS5. It drops to like $20. I have it over there still because I might play. You can't see the game. I kept some games out that I'd still play and boxed up everything else. I'm starting to look for the G sales online here because the weather's starting to perk up a little bit. Nothing so far. There was one when I went to do my stress test. There was one when I was walking home, but I think it was an indoor one. I saw the sign. I'm like, I'm not going to anybody's house right now. I'm not a huge fan of going through people's. I've done it quite a few times, but I'm not a fan of like going into people's houses. It's just weird to me, like that I don't know. And you're just like walking around. I mean, I've done it plenty actually, and I think about it, but. There's let's see. I think I talked about it in the Goosebumps show and tell. I think I'm going to hold on to the books for now. I'm not in the mood to list them. Almost part of me is almost like I want to pick up more, but I'm like, no, because I'm not really going to read all of those, I mean, at some point I probably will sell some, but I'm just not in the mood to list them all and then, where and have to list imperfections and stuff in the books. A little too much writing for me right now, I have been listing some coins. The coins are always a hot seller. Like, people are like, they love that shit. And I actually got a feedback from one. That's the thing with eBay. Like, I've sold 1.6 and at least over 100 realistically are probably from sellers, people I bought from. And it's like crazy how many feedbacks you will not get, and it sucks, you know. I did have one negative, and like, well, now it's gonna be over 12 months, but I don't get enough feedbacks to get my rating back. It's like a 93.8 to get it higher, and that feedback annoyed me because I said in the description, like, this disc is very scratched, and the person's like, it's like a $10, it was $10 for like a Sonic game disc only. I think it was on the Wii, Sonic Colors maybe, and then they disappear and they're not registered anymore. I was like, really, you know, like really, come on. Then, if anything, that should be more neutral. Or you could have messaged me and I beg, you know what, I'll shave a couple bucks off if you know, I'll give you $3. So if it's at a better price, you know. I'm like, should I just put beyond severely scratched? Like, and I'm taking a picture of it too, you know, the back of the disc. But even then, I can't get feedbacks from the people who are getting my stuff. Like, I've sold 10, 12 things, and I'm getting 2 feedbacks back from people. I did get a nice one from the last coin I sold, which was nice. Because the coins are important ones, you know. Those are ones I care about more. And the coins are just, they're sellers. Like, any coin I've listed sells in its first listing. It never has to be relisted. Most of the time, it's selling within a week, if not 2 or 3 days, and which is nice. I will keep some of those coins. I have like I'm not selling, like, one of them's worth $1,000 to $1,200. I'm not putting that on eBay. I don't trust anybody. They'll buy it off me and I'll somehow get screwed. I wouldn't just do that anyway. I would bring that to like a dealer and I would at least know the value of it. Now I also know I ain't getting offered $1,200 for a $1,200 coin. They need to make profit. If you can get like $800 for it, that'd be cool. $700 even. Because I look at it, if I sold a coin for straight grand, I can only imagine how much I'd lose in fees. Over $100. The shipping doesn't matter at that point. It's like $4. So, realistically, I'd probably be making high 8s. I don't know how much they would take from that. I would think a lot. So, I wouldn't be too far off the number if they offer me like $800 and to not worry about a buyer screwing me or something that just, you know, I don't feel comfortable selling high-priced items like that because I don't want to eat that hit if something goes wrong. But a lot of the coins I have are like, you know, $80 to $120. And some are more, you know, there's like the little 1/10 gold, like, dime. I think they're Mercury dimes or whatever the fuck they are. They're like $250 to $400. And then some of the sets, some of the mint proof sets, silver proof, really, are decent value as well. But, you know. That's actually not a bad sound. This did end up turning into a long ramble, which is good. But I can feel my stomach rumbling now, so I don't know how much longer it's going to go. It kind of sucks because I can't do any more collection videos because I put everything away. But I did squeeze out the original Xbox, the NES, the Xbox One, also. I think when we get down to North Carolina, I'm going to think about maybe doing the full collection again at some point. Because if I have most of them out on this bookshelf or wherever, it's easier to just access them instead of pulling them out of freaking cabinets and stuff. And it's annoying. I think when I get down there too, there's going to be a lot more gaming content as well. people the heads up. I think I'm gonna lean into the gaming content a bit more once I get down there. And like I said, I've considered still over time maybe doing like a specific gaming channel. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Like I said, I don't know though. We'll see. Things change for me. That's how it always is with me. Like I have things in my mind. I don't do them, or I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, nah, screw it, or I'm gonna do this, do that, and things always change. That's just how it is with me making videos, man. It's how I feel and stuff. And you always have thoughts in your mind of what you want to do, and then it just changes, and But I might. I think I am gonna lean more into the gaming stuff. But we shall see. I know a few of you said that you'd want to see another Goosebumps reading book at a point, so I only need a few people to say it, and I will do another one eventually. It's plus they're shorter books, which is nice. That's a bonus. We'll see. I'm kind of like I said, I'm excited to get down there and have different filming rooms, use the shed or the garage and stuff like that. I think my mindset's going to change too when I'm down there. I might it's almost like not rebooting my channel, but kind of just taking it, from different angles or whatever. Because I'll admit right now, like the rest of March, April, May, it's just going to be me just doing things. You're going to see a lot of rambles and stuff. I'm not getting too involved with videos. I'm like, I'm busy with other things and stuff. I just want to kind of make it simple, but still get content out as much as possible. And see how that goes. Like I said, it changes constantly with me. Like, I'll be like, I'm going to do this today, and then I'm like, nah, you know what, I'll do this instead. It's just, that's how I am. It's very off the cuff, all that stuff, But yeah, I'm going to give this another minute or two, because now the stomach is rumbling more. It must be this energy drink. But this ended up being a nice long ramble at the very least. For the people who like the non-gum chewing rambles, I know I don't do a ton of them. But it is nice sometimes not chew gum for 50 minutes. It's actually a pretty good sound, in my opinion. What are you gonna do? I might do another drinking and rambling video. My friend had brought over some beers the other night. I didn't have any. I'm trying not to drink any alcohol because of the GERD or whatever. But I got two of them in there, the Miller Lights. That he left a few behind. I think I just dumped two of them because I'm like, I don't want. So I might do another drink and ramble and see. If it causes me problems, I'll be like, okay, I'm done. But I might do that. I've just been on a ramble kick too. They're simple to do. I like doing it. I like just kind of chatting with everybody. Another thing I might try to do. I've said it before, but I'm always just. I don't know why I don't do it. But like a live stream, just chatting and stuff. I need to just do it. I just for whatever reason don't. But I might attempt that more often when I'm down there as well. I remember years ago I tried one briefly, but the connection was not working well enough. And then one person jumped in, but it was all screwed up. It was stuttering and stuff, and that was back in Massapequa. Maybe I will. I don't know. You know what? I shouldn't say stuff like that because then hopes up. That's why I'm trying to be better with not saying certain things on video, because then it's like, oh shit, I didn't do it, you know, or whatever. So I kind of keep that stuff. I'm trying more to keep that stuff to myself now. But yeah, this is a gum, not a gum chewing. Jeez, I'm so used to chewing gum. I'm saying it without even chewing it. I'm surprised I didn't just throw gum in my mouth and then be like, oh shit, this is supposed to be a whisper. But this was pretty good. I gotta say, 8.5 on this C4 strawberry watermelon ice. If you're into the energy drinks, give this one a go. I think it's good. I want to try to push this to an hour, but it's just not gonna happen, I don't think. But yeah, this is just a, there's somebody's revving their car or something. This is just a whispering long ramble here today, and the drink review 8.5 on the C4 strawberry watermelon ice. And thanks for